What's going on, Bulls fans? This is another episode, my second one for today. But we got some news from Coby White's injury, and because I talked about it a little bit, I think in the video before last, I wanted to go ahead and do an immediate follow up. So recently, it's come out that Billy Donovan is actually saying they're about 3 or 4 weeks from making a decision on when Coby White's going to be able to return to practice. Now, that is really, it kind of almost doubles the original timeline I believe that we were given as far as his return. Now, it could be that he had a setback. It could be very well that they want to make sure that shoulder is all the way healed up, so that he can be more effective when he comes back in the season. There's a couple of different reasons or things that could be going on with why Coby White's being held out a little bit longer. Now, how does that affect the Bulls going forward? Now, I'm of one of the, as many people in Bulls Nations do think that Coby White is going to be a big part of this team's bench rotation. Now, I know there's a lot, especially in my audience, of people who actually disagree with that, who don't think Coby White is going to be a big part of this team going forward, and they actually are calling for Coby White to be traded for a big. Understand both sides of that. Again, in my thinking, I very well think that Coby's going to be given every chance and opportunity to succeed in that bench scorer's role. Now, how does this affect the Bulls going forward into the season? Well, really, it does in some ways and it doesn't. Yes, they're not going to have that scoring threat that Coby projects to be at some point, but it does give opportunities for a little more. I know that a lot of Bulls fans are calling for Io to get more minutes, as many minutes as possible going into this season. I know there's also thought that, DJ and other players are going to eat into those possible guard minutes. Again, this isn't to have the conversation whether Coby is going to get minutes or isn't. We all believe different things with that. But this does give, for anyone who was still of the mind, as I originally was and I was coming off of, that Io was going to start off in the G League, this may open doors to that. Now, I know right now the Bulls are deciding what to do with their last roster spot. Some people are thinking that it's going to come down between Stanley Johnson and Matt Thomas. Does this affect that decision in the long run? We'll see. I know a lot of Bulls fans are really impressed with Matt Thomas. They want to see him stay on the roster for his shooting ability. And, having a sharpshooter off the bench is something that every team needs or wants at least. So, we'll see what's going on with that. The good thing about it is that, Alex Caruso is projecting to have over 20 minutes a game, right? That's very possible with his versatility there as well. And so who they get to fill out the rest of those guards minutes could be to see, it could be a by night thing, right? Whoever gets the hot hand, or it could be on a night that we need more shooting, a night that we need more defense, a night that we need more length. They can keep moving around who they decide to give those fourth guard minutes to. But overall, I think the biggest thing in this is that what is the long-term effects of this shoulder injury going to have for Coby White, for the people who think that he can be a big part of this rotation and of the bench of this team, but also for the people who do think that Coby White is going to be a trade piece that's dangled. How does this shoulder injury affect that? So again, this is why I said that this isn't about to have the conversation on the whether Coby will play, won't he, whether he will get traded or won't he, because really either way, if you look at the shoulder injury being something that's nagging, that's ongoing, right? Something that lingers on, it affects either side of the coin that you fall on with that. And yes, Coby's a young player. Coby has a lot of potential, but for the people who are on more the side that the Bulls should be looking to trade Coby White, this really does affect that trade market, and it possibly pushes him being traded from this trade deadline into next season or the offseason or around the draft, depending on, like I said, what happens. So again, I understand both sides of it. While I have my opinion on what I think the Bulls should do with Coby White, I also understand the people who have the counter opinion to that. But if this shoulder injury, and again, this is me completely speculating. We haven't got anything coming out officially that think it's going to be nagging or whatever. But I would be lying if I didn't say, as a Bulls fan, and again, I'm comparing it to Denzel Valentine, but not Coby as a player to Denzel Valentine. But the year that Denzel Valentine had an injury, and it was reported, he's going to miss a couple of weeks, and then it ended up lingering on where he missed the whole season. So I don't want to call alarm or anything or say that Coby White may miss the season. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm just saying that, seeing that for me put me in that mindset of, okay, what if this is something that lingers on, and how does that affect the way that the Bulls maneuver? like I said, it really affects either side of the coin. If you want to see Coby White be an effective part of this bench like I do, it affects that long-term vision. If you want to see Coby White be traded and be dangled for us to help solidify that front line, it affects that side of things too. So it's really one of those things that no matter where you fall on the Bulls fan and what you think they can do with Coby White, an injury like this lingering on affects that vision. And like I said, this is again me completely speculating. It could be in 3 weeks, Coby's good to go. We see him out there in the regular season. That could very well be. We never hear about the injury again. But part of this is having conversations. The whole part of having this channel is speculating on those things. So what do you think? And how do you think this affects the long-term goals, if any, with Coby White? And then also, who would you like to see as we near in the regular season, even taking Coby White out of the equation? How would you like to see the Bulls guard rotation go down? Let me know down below how you think that guard rotation, who would you like to see more often? Then, I mean, you can also let me know about the Bulls rotation as a whole. We hear that Bradley may be coming back soon from that back injury. He's been out all preseason, which is really going to help the Bulls front line as well. We know about Patrick Williams. We want to see this team get to healthy as soon as they can so we can really see what this team can do and what the long-term chemistry is going to be building for this team. So like I like to end every video and episode on, go Bulls. I love you guys. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.